true cost of turnover. This quite surprised me when we started pulling this together, but if you've got an average employee wage of $60,000 with a turnover rate of 30%, then your cost per year is around $5.7 million. So that's based on about $25,000 per employee. So that's the replacement cost of actually someone leaving and you're having to replace that role. Now, when we're talking $60,000, we're talking about the meat industry. Obviously, if the salary is higher, that cost, the replacement cost, I have heard it's up to 35-40% of salary to actually replace someone in an organisation. So quite a large chunk of change. So there's a real dollar value there, but there's also beyond the dollars. So the loss of knowledge, if you've got high turnover, the retraining of people, increased time from HR, from managers to recruit. So you can see that you start to get in quite a vicious circle of hire, they leave, hire again, retrain, and starts to put a lot of pressure on not only HR but the rest of your organisation around morale and stuff, because they've got to pick up the slack as the high turnover continues.
I guess you just look at, well, what is going to give you the best return? So what's the priority for the organisation, and start there. So you'll probably get a number of areas where you could do different pieces or interventions, but actually how does it align to what your overall strategy is, and then start there. And then what are those most common areas? Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm seeing the application quite broadly in organisations, for example, hospitals. I'm seeing lots around lost time injury and in manufacturing in that area as well, which hasn't really been reported to the right people in the quickness of time. So it's used a lot in terms of mitigating risk, particularly in highly regulated areas. Also early schools, early childhood, similar kind of things, heavily regulated areas. So that's something that you can't have a child that goes missing for 2 or 3 minutes and you don't know where they are, those kinds of things. So yeah, I think it really is dependent. I'm not seeing a broad generalisation around it. I guess the 3 big areas across the board, whether that be HR or not, is really about attraction, retention, and then costs. Everything's costing more at the moment to do, whether that be around labour costs, energy costs, supply, etc.